This is a road trip. It was the first year after I got married with my wife. Previous 2 years, or previous year or two, me and my brother and a friend or two, we'd go out and ski in Salt Lake City. And at the top of the mountain at Alta is a beautiful view. You can see so far, it's 11,000 some feet. All you see are snow cap. So that's the end of our road trip. That I was waiting for the last day, and my wife, our itinerary was to go into Salt Lake City. We're going to drive down to the national parks, do Zion, Bryce, the Grand Canyon, all these parks, and then drive back up to Salt Lake City. And the last day we drive from down south, we end up at a Best Western in Salt Lake City, and we check into the hotel at 4 o'clock. And we had driven 4 or 5 hours. And we check in, we go up to our hotel room, and we get in there, and I'm going to go for a swim. I like to swim, and we go in, and there's a light blinking on our phone, and it's message. So I hit the message, and they say, "This is Discover Card. Your credit card has been compromised. Please call us immediately, Mr. Breslin." And I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, we just checked in. So they gave a number. I call the credit card number, or I call the number, and they say, yeah, your card's been compromised. I said, what's that mean? They go, well, someone was found with your information in their possession, and we want to verify that you're Mr. Breslin. What's your date of birth? And I said, So wait a minute, this is a scam. I'm not supposed to give my information to you. I'm thinking, who is this? They go, well, we're trying to verify this is you who checked in. And I said, you know what, I'm going to call the number on my Discover card, and I'll see if you guys are right on. So they go, do that, and that's fine. So I hang up, I call the number on the Discover card, and some lady answers the phone. They go, yeah, your account's been flagged, and I tell her, I said, okay. I said, she tells me what happened and so forth. So I go, well, I just checked in. Is everything okay? Are they going to everything's fine. We talked to the front desk already. I said, okay. So I said to Joan, you want to go down for a swim? She's like, no, I'll hang up here. I'm going to call my mom. So I said, okay. I go down to go swimming. And as I walk to the front desk, I hear all this racket and a little TV behind the counter and people yelling Marco Polo. The lady comes to the counter, and she goes, she reaches over and she turns down the monitor. They can view the pool and everyone in the pool, I guess for security reasons. And she turns it down, and she says, what can I help you with? I said, we just checked in. Apparently those Discover, oh yeah, you're fine. I said, okay. I said, yeah, I don't know what happened. We're down. She goes, yeah. And now I'm thinking, are we shady? I'm like, I just wanted to let her know we're not. So, so I said, okay. I said, okay, everything's good. So I go in, and by then the people in the pool are getting out, and I jump in the pool. I'm all by myself, and I'm in there, and about 3 minutes later, lady at the front desk comes into the pool area, and she comes right in, and she walks to the edge of the pool, and she stands there like this. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? And she's like, good, everything okay? I said, yeah, everything's fine. She goes over to the water fountain, gets a drink. I'm like, what the hell? She walks out, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, she goes out to the front desk, and she goes behind the counter. She's looking in at the pool. Next thing I see my wife coming in. She's red-faced, walking real fast. She's like, oh, you won't believe it. And I'm like, what? What's wrong? She goes, I tried to call home with the calling card. I'm like, well, what happened? She goes, you have to dial 911 and the number you want to call. And I'm like, yeah. She goes, I dialed 911 215. And I'm like, what? She goes, I dialed 911. Right? I'm like, gee. By then I look over at the counter, and the lady's reaching, there's a policeman at the front desk. And she reaches over and she turns, I realize she's turning the volume up to listen to us. Right? So I said, you dial 911. She's like, and they're looking in there. So at that point I realized they're listening. I said, go get the money and get the gun and meet me at the car. I'm just kidding, I didn't say that part. So I realized, she turned it up. I'm like, you what? I go, it was an accident. I go, she goes, oh my God. She goes, the lady was asking if everything's okay. And I'm like, we just checked in, our card's compromised. I go, you're dialing 911. I don't feel good here. I'm like, and I think they heard us, and I said, well, the guy left. They realized there was an accident. And I'm like, this was embarrassing.